Alright, so again, up on the screen, Jeremy's team. You've seen it already many times, but here it is again for those not in the know. Xerneas, Smeargle, Lunala, Incineroar, Crobat, and Toxicroak. On the other side, Chase's team, Incineroar, Yveltal, Kyogre, Tapu Lele, Amoonguss, and Crobat. So, two Crobats here. I think Crobat's one of the popular Pokemon this mid-season go-around. Plenty of Crobat and cuts. I'm not really sure what that's all about, to be honest. I think it's a pretty good mon, but I don't think it's that good. Like, come on. So, it is October, so definitely spooky time. Bats are pretty spooky. But let's see what Chase can really do. Yveltal definitely a good matchup call here, especially against Lunala. And if it's faster than Xerneas, can definitely go for that knockoff. Just has to watch out for taking attacks from that Xerneas as well. Tapu Lele is pretty decent, but not that great. Weak to both Xerneas and Lunala, typically. Not hitting either of them particularly hard. It does have Side Shock, so I mean, there is that option, but it's not the greatest. As well, they're actually going to go right into it, so cutting me off in my mid-game analysis here. I don't expect to see Amoonguss coming at all. I feel like that Pokemon is not going to help Chase do much in the matchup. Crobat, on the other hand, could definitely see some use on both sides, as per the usual. And we're going to see Tapu Lele Crobat from Chase. So there's what I'm saying. It's Crobat and Tapu Lele. He's ready to do some damage, ready to do some supporting. As Toxicroak and Lunala comes out. And I bet that Toxicroak was anticipating a Kyogre lead, but instead it got this lead. And it's not a very good one. So aside from maybe outspeeding possibly the Tapu Lele, I doubt it does. But in the case it does, it can definitely get off a strong poison move, poison jab, gunk shot, one of those two, to do some big damage to the Tapu Lele. Of course, now that Psychic Terrain is up, I'm pretty sure this Lunala is ready to go ahead and dunk that Crobat with a Psyshock. But Crobat is free to go for just going for Tailwind here, or Taunt, or something like that. Tapu Lele not really enjoying the position too much, but it is definitely enjoying facing down that Toxicroak if it is faster. So we're going to see what they choose to do. And Toxicroak is backing out. Here's that Incineroar trying to intercept that Psychic attack. Great play to switch that out. Definitely no reason for Toxicroak to stay in. There's nothing to fake out. Can't really do much there. And Intimidate going nowhere as Taunt comes down into the Lunala. So very interesting as Moongeist Beam comes out and drops that Tapu Lele. At least I would assume that's what it's dropping. Ooh, yes. That's dropping. Ooh, but it's a Pokesash variant, so this Tapu Lele is actually hanging on. It's going to go for that Psychic into the Incineroar, so that's going to whiff into nothing here. Maybe Chase trying to just feel it out. But being taunted means that Lunala is no longer able to protect itself here. I'm not sure that'll be that much of a problem unless Crobat's carrying, like, Bite. If Crobat carries Bite, then that's real. That's some real next level tech. Tapu Lele here, not in a great position though. Definitely wants to get out here. Maybe we can see some other moves from Crobat, but Taunt. Taunt here, not really doing much. Tailwind is going to come off. He's going to make sure that Pokemon in the back for Chase are able to outspeed Jeremy's Pokemon when they come in. Here's another Moongeist Beam, probably into that Lele just to finish it off. You know, nothing worth doing. Just get rid of it already. Yep. See ya. And that allows Chase a free switch into something. But Jeremy is going to get this nice knockoff into Crobat. Good to see what that item is. It is going to be that Lumberry. So, Focus Sash on Tapu Lele, Lumberry on Crobat. Looks like Chase is going to be able to bring in something real nice. Kyogre here, yeah. So, Kyogre is one of those Pokemon that Jeremy's team looks like it struggles with, but that's what the Toxicroak is for. So, I would expect Toxicroak to be coming back in sometime soon here to help with the Kyogre out here. Of course, Chase maybe a little in the know about that. Maybe choosing not to lock into a water move yet. We'll see what he chooses to do. Of course, it's all based on how they players play normally. I don't think these players have played each other before, and if they have, it might have been only once or twice in this weekend. So I don't think they really know how the other plays that much. Crobat gonna switch out, bringing in Yveltal, so making sure Crobat sticks around to put up another Tailwind maybe later or something like that. As Incineroar gonna go ahead and switch out. There's that Toxicroak coming back in. Gonna soak up that water. Water Spout is gonna break the Shadow Shield on Lunala, which is kind of unfortunate considering Yveltal just came in, but at the same time, it definitely looks like, wow, that was a big amount of damage. Way more damage than I was expecting. So here's a big Psyshock into Kyogre, gonna deal a great amount of damage. Definitely gonna need to switch that out in order to protect the damage output later, because Water Spout's not doing a whole lot right now. And, you know, Toxicroak has that fake out opportunity on the flying type Yveltal right now, so if he has it, he can use it. If he doesn't, then he might just go for an attack. Low kick, knockoff. I'm not sure if he actually run knockoff on that. You definitely run low kick, so he's gonna probably go for something. It's probably a fake out. Crobat coming back in, as fake out does go into that Yveltal, so stops that Yveltal's attack, and another Psyshock for the books. Goodbye, Crobat. Nice knowing ya. And that does mean that Chase gets to bring in his Kyogre one more time, but really Kyogre doesn't seem to be doing a whole lot, especially to this Toxicroak. In fact, I don't even know if he has a Toxicroak matchup outside of that Tapu Lele, so this could be the end of Game 1. Very clean, simple, basic set from Jeremy. Chase might have to adjust a little bit better in order to account for some of the pitfalls he kind of fell into there while targeting that Toxicroak. As Origin Pulse gonna come out, gonna target down that Lunala, doing nothing of course to the Toxicroak, as Lunala does D-drop, but too little too late maybe, as knockoff from Yveltal gonna come in and knock off the Assault Vest from Toxicroak. Here's the low kick, gonna knock out Kyogre. It's a very big boy and very heavy to boot, so I mean those low kicks, man. Tailwind is going to peter out, Weirdness is going to go away. I assume Jeremy's going to bring in what I can only imagine to be a Xerneas, as Yveltal looking to face down the world in all its glory. And there's that Xerneas coming in, dropping that Fairy Aura, about to drop a sick blast. And the match was forfeited, so Chase is just going to move on. Doesn't even really want to look at the damage roll from Moonblast. Pretty sure it's just going to knock it out. So, moving on to Game 2 of Finals. This could be Chase's chance to come back. And otherwise, this is going to be Jeremy winning, getting some more CP for himself, getting some more CP for this team. Has already gotten a fair amount of the CP that has been available this season. So, we're going to see what happens as they move in. Alright, I can hear those buttons mashing fast. I think Jeremy's already clicked in on his 4 Pokemon, just waiting to think about whether he really needs to change anything or if he's just going to roll and take some more kills with that Lunala. Alright, for Chase, some adjustments maybe. Having Tapu Lele stick around a little longer, deal with the threat that is Toxicroak, so you can allow Kyogre to steamroll through Jeremy's remaining Pokemon. Definitely a Pokemon that, you know, Kyogre players definitely don't like to see in Team Preview, especially if you have a Yveltal as your second restricted Pokemon, as those Pokemon don't really deal with Toxicroak barring an odd flying move on a Yveltal, which, you know, honestly, you may want to run if you're running a core of Yveltal Kyogre. It just seems like you could run Hurricane to pick off Toxicroak, possibly. I'm not even sure if it gets Hurricane. I think it does, but I may be misremembering that, so don't hate me. Crobat here, also not offering too much here. Chase is going to lock in, but I think Jeremy's going to think a little harder about what he's going to put as his lead. And 2 seconds remaining. He's ready to go, I think. Yep. Alrighty, man. We are here Yveltal and Crobat, double flying lead for Chase. It is looking pretty decent here, as Jeremy's going to lead Toxicroak, Lunala. So I think Chase adjusting for this lead that Jeremy has thrown out once more. Crobat here, again threatening a Tailwind, threatening a Taunt, possibly a Brave Bird into that Crobat if it's carrying Brave Bird. And Yveltal, you know, it is Fake Out vulnerable, but Dark typing, as long as it stays on the field, Lunala is not safe. So we're going to see how Jeremy deals with this lead matchup and go from there. I suppose Chase is looking pretty okay, but I would say he's going to have to wait a turn before doing anything really major. As Fake Out going to come out into Yveltal, connects, it's going to be a flinch on that side. Tailwind going up, you know, that's normal, of course, as the Lunala goes for the Slice Shock onto the Crobat, so does a lot of damage. Doesn't KO, unfortunately. That's what happens when you don't run boosting item on psychic moves for Lunala. And you know, Crobat sticking around isn't actually that big of a deal. It can't really do a whole lot. It can do like Taunt and Super Fang maybe. Again, Brave Bird if it has it, but it will also knock itself out if it tries to do that. Most likely anyway. And other than that, there's not much that it can really do unless it's carrying some rogue moves like Hypnosis. Yveltal here, poised to take action. Gonna start throwing some knockoffs around. Gonna start throwing some big dark moves, big damage moves. And you know, just gonna switch, doesn't want to take that, and it's gonna be that Incineroar coming in to resist the dark move here. As Intimidate also goes ahead and lowers the attack of Yveltal and Crobat. So Crobat gonna go ahead and stay in, I think, but Feint actually gonna make sure it doesn't go anywhere. So Feint gonna take that Crobat down, and you know, Yveltal alone gonna throw out that knockoff. Thank you for the follow. And knockoff is gonna knock off that Assault Vest one more time, so kind of knowing that Lunala is not just gonna let you knock it off. Chase decides to, you know, get rid of the Assault Vest. That's probably a better option anyway. In comes Tapu Lele. This is a pretty good opportunity for Tapu Lele to start hitting some psychic moves in its terrain, since Jeremy already brought in that Incineroar, and there's no option for him to put it back in for the other slot. Tailwind is fast running out though, so Chase is going to have to make the best use of that Tailwind if he wants to continue playing for the championship. Yveltal going to come out for Kyogre. It's a pretty good switch here, and it's going to be throwing up that Drizzle and going for Tapu Lele here. Is going to go for the, after a switch happens, back into the Lunala here. So it's going to be a Fake Out into nothing because Kyogre is not a flying type, as Moonblast comes out into that Lunala. Nice play. Pretty safe. I think Moonblast on non-Assault Vest Toxicroak definitely picks it up, so breaking that the Shadow Shield and putting it into a range where Water Spout probably gets it. So this is really tough for Jeremy now. He's going to have to stall out this last turn of Tailwind, but more than that, he's going to have to make sure Toxicroak somehow gets in without any damage. So this is going to be really rough for him to try and come back from, and Psychic Terrain is going to be up for another 4 or 5 turns here, as Incineroar going to switch back out. Here's that Toxicroak, and let's see what Chase does in reaction to this. There's a Protect on Lunala. There's the Water Spout from Kyogre. It is going to heal that Toxicroak back, but we know it's not Sash, so it's just going to be a healing, you know, quarter of its HP, as the Moonblast once again comes out into Lunala. Not going to pick it up, but at the same time, it's really not good for Jeremy here. I am sure the Tapu Lele on Chase's side is faster than Toxicroak, and you know, another Water Spout definitely is going to KO the Lunala here, I think. So this is going to be pretty weird for Jeremy to start trying to sacrifice things that aren't named Toxicroak, but he might have to sacrifice Toxicroak either way. Water Spout just going to come out. He heals the Toxicroak all the way back to full HP, but you know, 4x psychic weakness and all that, I don't think it really matters whether he's full or not. Water Spout gonna come out and pick up the knockout on Lunala. So I really like the direction that Chase has taken this game. He put the Lele in later rather than earlier to try and take on that Toxicroak, and it's working out very beautifully. Alright, thanks for the follow, Choppa. And coming in, it's going to be that Incineroar and probably Xerneas. Unfortunately for Jeremy, Psychic Terrain's still up, so this Water Spout is about to be really fat, and I'm not sure Xerneas can really do anything, especially if this this Tapu Lele is max speed. They're going to be able to outspeed the Xerneas and hit off a big Psychic before it gets the boosts. So this is looking like Chase's game, and he's going to bring it to a Game 3 here soon, and that's going to be a showstopper after that, huh? Alright, so Jeremy's going to have to think a little harder for the next game here. Going to take all that move time to think what he can do next game. How can he preserve Toxicroak and be in a position where, you know, Water Spout isn't oppressing his switch options. It definitely applies so much pressure here, and that is a lot of damage. 3 HP remaining on that Xerneas, but it won't even matter because the Tapu Lele is Focus Sash, and Focus Sash Pokemon usually beat Pokemon that have 3 HP, so the Psychic Attack drop is very nice though. A last ditch effort to try and do something, and Psychic gonna pick off that last 3 HP of the Xerneas. Here we go. It's gonna be Game 3, top 2 finals. Jeremy Rodriguez versus Chase Thompson. So very clearly, both players can win in the matchup. So we're gonna see which player can leave with a trophy, nice chunk of CP, and who can get more street cred, I suppose, from the local area. Remember, this is Chase Thompson's first year as a master, so this is a pretty big statement if he's going to continue playing this game competitively for however long he may choose to do so. So, regardless of how he plays, I think he's done a great job showing up to his first Masters, I guess, mid-season showdown. Yeah, I think so. Alright, so I think regardless of how well Chase does, I think he can be satisfied his first year as Master, placing second at a very stacked mid-season showdown, especially with all the Midwesterners kind of invading from Ohio, Michigan, and the like. So, always got to be proud of him as an indie local himself. So, Jeremy is locked and loaded. I think he knows what he wants to do, but will Chase stick with the plan he went for in Game 2, or will he try to do something a little more, I guess, consistent? I think what he led in Game 2 was good versus Jeremy's specific lead, but I'm not sure if it was actually that consistent. Crobat didn't actually end up doing too much, and Yveltal definitely didn't really do that much in that matchup either. So we're going to see how they lead. This is the last game of the tournament, and I don't know if we're streaming the PC after this, but we might. Or we might stream some more Mario Party. One of those two. As Xerneas and Lunala out for Jeremy. That's a change up from the last time as Kyogre Tapu Lele from Chase. So he just straight let it. Like, he just went in. Here's Kyogre. Enjoy. So this could be really bad or really good for Jeremy. Fairy Aura is going to go before the Psychic Surge on Tapu Lele. So Chase's Tapu Lele is definitely the slowest thing on the field based on previous understanding. But, you know, big Water Spout damage is big Water Spout damage. So you definitely don't want to let that get off with no repercussions. I think Jeremy's going to have to make a couple of trades and damage here and maybe try to get up a Geomancy or something like that. But, you know, if you try to do that, Tapu Lele does have the Focus Sash, so you can't just let it attack. You're going to have to double down into it in order to get rid of it. Lunala here also poised to maybe not really take that Water Spout very well, but here's a switch from Tapu Lele into the Crobat. Very interesting switch. It's going to be that Protect from Xerneas as, you know, maybe a Water Spout from the Kyogre here. Going to do a lot of damage to the Lunala, even through the shield. It's going to do about 40% here as Psyshock going to go into that Kyogre. Limit the damage it can do with Water Spout here and, you know, make it so that it has to switch probably. And even though the Shadow Shield broke, no damage got off on Xerneas, which is really unfortunate for Chase. He kind of needed that damage so he could kind of force it to not Geomancy, not sub, all that kind of good stuff. But at least Crobat is in now, and Crobat does have a pretty good opportunity here to set up Tailwind, or you know, just in general do something. Super Fang maybe, but Kyogre's definitely coming out here. Probably going to go back into the Yveltal actually, so Yveltal going to hit the field. Let's see what Jeremy does in response to this. Could be a Geomancy, could be a Moonblast. Have no idea. Tailwind going to come out for Crobat here, so if Jeremy went for the Geomancy, it's probably just going to get hazed right away. Psyshock into Crobat, and that's going to be a knockout on Crobat since he saw the sashes on Lele this time, so not actually on the Crobat, as Moonblast actually going to come out for Jeremy and hit this Lunala on the switch in. That's a lot of damage, and Chase maybe just not enough forethought about that lead option with a Protect and Psyshock combination, but he's down to his last two Pokemon in Tapu Lele and Kyogre. Now the good thing about this is that Tapu Lele is now faster than the two Pokemon on Jeremy's side. The bad news is that now he's going to have to rely on the not particularly accurate Origin Pulse to do all the damage. What is nice is that both of Jeremy's Pokemon are within that range of getting doubled up into by Origin Pulse and Psychic. But I guess to be completely safe, Chase is going to have to choose his targets pretty carefully with that Tapu Lele on who's getting hit with that Psychic and when. So it's all down to Chase hitting his moves and clicking the right buttons. Alright, and Jeremy's making that choice. Making it pretty painstakingly. Alrighty. Alright, Lunala is going to switch out. It's going to be that Incineroar, so I don't know if this can take an Origin Pulse. I definitely don't think it can. But definitely just trying to stall out those Tailwind turns, I think. So, a Protect from Xerneas once more. There it is. Make sure it doesn't take any damage from Origin Pulse or anything like that, as Origin Pulse comes out. Misses the Incineroar, which actually might be good for Chase. Definitely did not want to give Jeremy a free switch back into something else, and now, you know, he's just going to lose that slot. That slot's going to become dead for this turn, assuming Origin Pulse connects with the target this time, and it really puts his Xerneas slot in a bad position. Definitely not going to enjoy taking a Psychic and Origin Pulse if he leaves it in. Might have to switch it out and make some trades here. Chase drives a hard bargain, but that's what Kyogre always does. Alright, so Jeremy's making some moves here. He's got to make some decisions. Does he leave Incineroar into Feint here, or is he going to save it for when Psychic Terrain wears off? Looks like he's just going to leave it in, but it's going to miss! Man, dude, these moves have been missing all day long, but instead of Precipice Blaze, it's going to be that Origin Pulse this time. You know, you can get so far running on 85 accuracy, but sometimes when it really counts, it's just not going to do you any favors. Dazzling Gleam from Xerneas, going to do a lot of damage actually, so here's the Moonblast from Xerneas, going to knock out Kyogre, and I think that's going to be game right after Chase's Tailwind wears off, which I think is the next turn actually, and you know, Xerneas and Lunala both outspeed, so this is going to be maybe a good game on that one. Here comes Toxicroak, and Toxicroak going to have not much pressure to exert, just making sure that Chase doesn't target the Xerneas while it tries to set up. So here's the Psychic. It's going to target that Toxicroak, and it's going to get that KO pretty easy. No rhyme or reason about it. And here's Xerneas, going to go for that Moonblast. Doesn't want to take any chances going for Geomancy. Any weird stuff that Tapu Lele can do. I don't think it does anything that weird, but other than make some weird terrain. Yep, goodbye weirdness. And lastly, here comes that Lunala. And Chase put up the good fight, but in the end, Kyogre just couldn't hit those moves, dude. Couldn't hit those moves. And that was really the killer of this this match here. Alright, and there is the final Moongeist Beam. Let us all wash and bask in the glory of moonlight. Make sure you don't stay out too late. It is Sunday after all. And congratulations to Jeremy Rodriguez. He is the mid-season champion for Fort Wayne, Indiana TM events on October 14th.